What about now? Is there audio now? Let me know. I think it was on mute on accident. Okay, con. But like I was saying through the spirit, let me read that again. Man, see that's Satan right there, man. The adversary. All right, it says the water for that too, bro, because I wouldn't even know, and I would have went a full camp without even knowing. The water for that, man. Yahawashi, bless you, bro. First Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And through the spirit, like I said, all right, a lot of things are going on behind the scenes. That's why a lot of this bread and circus stuff is happening, like Canelo versus T-Bug Crawford, which I believe through the spirit, like I want to see the fight. Don't get it wrong. Oh, and then you still got niggas talking about NBA and trades and who's going to be on LeBron's team and where's LeBron going. That's right, brother. Where's LeBron going? Do you think he's going to go here? Who's going to... Look, while all this bread and circus is happening, okay, hey, behind the scenes, there's moves being made on the East, in the Middle East. There's war drums happening. But, hey, there's probably little war happening. I think they said that you had Russia strike something, or Iran strike something at the U.S. in Ukraine or something like that. So those are war drums. Then not to even mention the fact that we're closer and closer to the RFID chip coming out, this digital technology. That's one of the main last prophecies, all right, that we're waiting on to happen. Okay, then things are going to start flying by more quicker. And the only ones that are occupied in these prophecies are brothers as yourself. Let me get that real quick. This is Sirach, chapter 39, verse 1. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of Yahawah, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. And that's all we're doing. That's why we are here in the highways and byways, because what? We are occupied in prophecies. We're watching these prophecies come to pass. We're watching the Lord do his thing. We're watching the Lord do his acts, okay? It's like it. And that's all it is. See, your pastor on Sunday is not watching for prophecies. He's watching for prosperity. All right? That's why that feel-good message with Jake, it puts them in a deeper sleep. It's almost damn near like witchcraft. Okay, your pastor goes around. They have these cynical ass songs that they carouse. It's all to put you in a trance to put money in a collection basket. Then after that's done, they give you the feel-good, everything is going to be all right message. Which everything ain't going to be all right. The only thing that's going to be all right out here is for the elect. That's it. So, like I said, I'm ready to give. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, meaning you're meditating, okay? Bahasham is in your thoughts. You want to get better in this faith, okay? You want to see how you can please the Heavenly Father, all right, for mercy and not be on his wrath side. So, let me see what this brother wrote. The dollar is about to collapse. Oh, yeah, they did. They were talking about that. The FED is about to take place. That's why Trump is... Yeah, that's right. That's right. Hey, man, when that dollar collapse, it's over for a lot of you. Hey, a lot of things are going to change. You know what I'm saying? Like when Obama was in office, you know, they thought that he was going to bring change. The only thing he brought was that Obamacare BS and a whole bunch of hopeless, sweet nothings to you goddamn Jake's ears. Right? That goddamn Hamite double ain't do nothing for you Jakes. But you Jakes will still sit up here and say, we need another Obama in office. You niggas don't even know what the hell he did in office. He didn't do nothing. Bush, we went to war. Iraq. Now through Trump, which, or willing, he's the last president. Okay, he's gonna spark off WW3. Hey, when he first and before he came into office, he said, "I'm gonna come in here and prevent World War III because you don't know how close we are." Really, in devilish terms, he's telling you, "I'm going to start World War III because we're so close." Because all of this is an agenda. And these are all just prophecies. It says, verse 2, "He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also." Right, and one of the, another subtle parable is that RFID hip, which I'm going to get into that after I read this. But where the subtle parables are, that's where he will be. And that's talking about brothers as yourself. When the Lord talked about the chariots, okay, you get bugged out AI videos having the having a fucking wheel within a wheel and eyes all around about it. That's not what it's talking about. All right, that wheel within a wheel is talking about how those so-called circular UFOs, it'll spin one way and then the inside it'll spin the other way. That's where they get that oh, yep, that's right, brother. You know, that's where you get that that wheel within a wheel. That's where they get that from in Independence Day. They get that from the Holy Bible. So that's a subtle parable also. Another subtle parable is who the tribes are and where they were going to end up or be within the last days, according to Genesis, the 49th chapter. And you got other chapters as far as the northern tribe coming over here to the Americas, scheduled the 13th chapter, and so forth and so forth. We can get into prophecies all day. It says, he will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. That's why this world can't understand us. And Yahawashi talked about that. When the disciples asked him, "Lord, why speakest thou in the parables?" He said, "Because it is for you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given." And that's just plain and simple. See, what this world doesn't realize, and the people around us, is that the reason why we can talk amongst brothers the way we do, and they be bamboozled. Well, again, what are they talking about? I know it be times I'll be on the game, or a brother be around, and I'll be on the game, or I'll be around some people, and we'll salute. We'll say, "Hey, you know, hey, brother Yahawashi, you know, Bahasham, what is that? Y'all speaking another language? What is that?" Because, see, the thing is, Jake lost their heritage. And we're out here trying to profess and proclaim the heritage and get them back into it, but Jake don't follow suit. So it says, he will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. Now I'm gonna get into this, because even amongst you got men up in the truth. All right, amongst them, you have men that cannot get that the RFID hip is that is spoken about in Revelation the 13th chapter is actually talking about an actual thing that's going to be put in your body. Let me go into it. Because in all actuality, when you think about it, what else could it possibly be? Right? You got camps talking about it's John 3:16. Okay, you probably got some dudes talking about his money. But through the spirit of power of Yahawashi, the men that have learned under Great Millstone, the Lord put the spirit on them to give us the revelation of what John the Revelator seen on the island of Patmos. And then even with that, he's giving certain brothers visions of people getting gypped. I know I've had a couple. I know they had well, I get into the scriptures first, then I'll expound on it, because I've had at least two in my time being in the truth. And I tell you that it felt real, it's gonna be wild out here. You're gonna see it advertised all over the place. Just like that goddamn Juicy Juice was advertised. It's Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. It said, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And how are you, a lot of you people that don't go with the program of America, because this place is Rome 2.0 all over again. It's the Roman Empire all over again. Okay? That's why this is the beast. All right? Because it is Rome all over again. That deadly wound healed. Okay? And this place revived. Okay? That's talking about America. Okay? And the system that is going to come about it is going to be a new system, which they're going to force upon all the whole world. Okay? And guess who's in on it? Putin's in on it. These other world leaders are in on it. China's in on it. Okay? You had Bill Gates. Okay, he was in he's been in Africa. Basically, look it up too. He's been in Africa testing that C-hip and other specific things on them goddamn Hamite kids. I think it's something, you brothers look it up. It's something that I guess he's been out there and basically what's been going on is when kids are born, all right, when those Hamite kids are born, he's getting them C-hipped. And you already know the gimmick with that C-hip, okay? You got the test subjects, all right? You got the test subjects. Then once they figure out, okay, this works, then they're gonna bring mosey and bring it on down, all right? It's like they're gonna mosey, bring it on down, man, to where the U.S. Oh, hey, it might start in China first, just like the goddamn juice. And then guess what? It's going to for sure come out this way. Just like everything. It's a pattern, man. It says, verse 16, and he causes both small and great, rich and poor. So this man's, he's going to go after the kids. That's why hospitals are so tight. I remember having my seed. Now, I follow my seed all around the fucking hospital because they'll take the baby out the room without if the woman's just there, because what they expect is a single parent household. So here it is, your woman already had the kid and they're trying to snatch the kid from you. I mean, we got to get blood samples. We have to do this, we have to do that, and you don't know your kid. That's not how it's supposed to be. But hey, them hospitals go back to witchcraft too. All right? When you sign those documents and those papers, all right, hey, you basically signing your kid away. It says, both small and great, rich and poor. So this is gonna go throughout all society. It doesn't matter if you're noble in society, you make 100K a year, 200, from the least to the greatest, from LeBron. And you seen them niggas, you seen them dudes taking that juice. You had that fucking, that clown Lupe Fiasco telling Jake to take the juice. All right, you had, who was it, Slim Thug talking about it. Then you had niggas taking it. All right, so you're gonna, hey, when this C-hip comes to fruition or surfaces up, guess who's gonna be the first in line to advertise it? All right, it's gonna be the celebs, especially for Jake. Jay-Z did it, oh, I gotta do it. And then what they're gonna do is they're gonna show the perks. Yeah, look, you can open your car without it because everything is RFID technology right now. Like I work at the casino. Everything that comes in the, hey, you don't even sign really papers no more. A regular slip. People come up, hey, nah, we don't have no packing slip, no paper, okay? They show you the phone, can you sign right here? I know you brothers remember back in the day when you would get a package, or something like that. Say you was at your job or something, and you had to sign for something, and you got a package, man. You sign on the paper, and you get a copy, then they get a copy. Now everything's emailed. Everything's emailed. You go to receive something in, everything's received in on a computer. Everything's digitalized. All right. Yeah, that fucking know your clap juvenile head ass nigga. Yup. All these celebrities, they're sold out. Y'all have to give it agenda. Okay, that's why the rap industry is so big amongst Jake. It's because it's all witchcraft and spells. But like I was saying, everything is RFID'd up. All right. So it says. Read it again. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now you still have what's his name, Elon Musk, with the Neuralink, which I believe through the Spirit that's gonna start coming out more and more. That Neuralink, because you got first and foremost, hey, a lot of people in this world, they're gamers. You had that one dude that Elon Musk put that goddamn Neuralink in his mind. Oh, that chimp too. The dude, he was able to basically type on his computer or do something with his computer without having to type some crazy stuff. And then the monkey was able to play the video game. He thought he was playing it with the joystick, and they had the joystick unplugged, and the motherfucker was doing it with his mind through that Neuralink. Then you had that dude that I guess he was paralyzed, and they did the witchcraft surgery with that Neuralink, and the dude was able to walk or something like this. It's a whole bunch of crazy stuff with these doubles, which all that RFID hip and that Neuralink, it's all just witchcraft. It's not really true healing when you look into it. Okay, that Neuralink, all he's doing is just the nerves that went dead, or the nerves that made you lose your eyesight or made you paralyzed where you couldn't walk. All he's doing is building something some neurological device to basically reattach those nerves. So let's say when let's say the shit fries or something, or it doesn't work, he has to re-go in, you know, and redo whatever. It's technology. It's meant to fail. You get a phone for a year, the shit's already bugging out. So how long do you think that shit's gonna last? Okay? So it says to get a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And we know that mark in the right hand, you know, we always go back to Karagma. Okay? And then you have what they're going to use to put it in you, which we go into incision, right, or impaling you, or hey, even going into a syringe. Okay, which when you look at when you go into looking at a syringe, okay, the syringe is identical to a venomous snake fang when you look into it. Look into it. That's how you know that this is the devil. See, here it is. You Jakes out here, you playing, especially you niggas amongst Israel. This man wants to get a syringe, okay, and impale you with a device. All right, that's gonna mean he's gonna mark you as his territory. You're not Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, you're mine. That's why the Lord's gonna kill you niggas. Niggas like General Yohana, Zabak, if you don't repent, okay, and teach the right way, teach what the RFID C-hip is, Revelation 13 and 16, which we're reading about. How you gonna double tongue it and say, oh well, I'm not saying it can't be, you know, a specific device, but I don't think it is, but I'm not gonna take it. Yeah, you might as well say that's not what it is. Plain and simple. See, niggas is trying to play the safe side. Well, I'm not, because you don't, I mean, you want your congregation not to feel a certain type of way. Because a lot of you clowns, the reason why you're not telling your congregation what it really is because when that time gets close, all right, a lot of women, they depend on what? They depend on the government. They depend on these hospitals. They depend on aid which Lord willing, that shit gets shut off soon. But they depend on that. So what's gonna happen? Oh, I can't buy food, my kids, this and that. You ain't trying to play it safe. Ain't no playing it safe in the truth. The prophets say it rough, raw, and rugged. All right? Brother put up a script. I'm gonna get that real quick. Hey man, you brothers know. Yeah, that's right, Job 13:4. But you are forgers of lies. You are all physicians of no value. That's right. And that see here, hey, it's really not for your benefit, especially when they come out with it. So it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right? So how are you gonna buy and sell? How are you gonna buy and sell with sin? You got clown niggas on the keyboard warriors talking about, oh, see, getting a potato chip, talking about, see, I got it. And then eating it. Man, hey, you niggas are gonna die. Whoever's blood, actually, let me get that. If you're a man, if you say you're a man of the Lord, you got a YouTube channel, you out there on the highways and byways, you got congregation, you got men that watch you, you know what I'm saying? And you're telling them and not warning them of the things to come. So if they take it, hey, that blood's gonna be on your hands. I think the apostle just put up a video talking about the warnings, you know, when the warnings stop. See, it's not gonna be all day, every day when we're gonna be out here warning these people. Okay? It's not gonna be all day, every day when we out here warning all these people, everybody, oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming. And the Lord's gonna remove his prophets. He's gonna shut this whole thing down. So that way, Jake, man, hey, the Lord is the ultimate trap setter. Okay? The Lord is the ultimate trap setter. You Jakes are about to get trapped up. If you're not in the knowing, if you're not in this faith, okay, 2025, yeah, because you are gonna have, you know, men that come in at the last hour. The Lord talked about that. But hey, 66.6 of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're gonna die out here. This is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 1. Again, the word of Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, and really the Lord set us up as the watchman. All right, which is an important job. Okay. Hey, you know, an example of being a watchman, when King David and King Saul were going at it. King Saul was pursuing King David, and you had men that were supposed to be around him, okay, that was supposed to be keeping watch. Man, King David rode up and seen King Saul plus his men sleep. Now, if King David King David was a righteous man, he said, you know, hey, I can't harm the Lord's anointed. Okay? So what happened was, you know, through the Spirit, you know, King David let him be, and they woke up. I forgot what King David had. I think he cut off a piece of his garment or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? But you know, through the Spirit, hey, Saul's watchmen should have been up to warn him, but they were all asleep. Seeing that through the Spirit, what does the scripture say about a lot of our prophets? They are all dogs. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. Isaiah 56 and 10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. And, you know, you could use this for the pulpit pimp preacher on Sunday. And also, too, you can use this for the false teachers in Israel. IUIC, they got false teachers amongst them. Okay, you got false teachers amongst ISUPK, Sakar. Well, we don't even know what the hell's going on with them anymore. I think Alazar Pegasus jumped ship. So it says, his watchmen are blind. And another way of being blind is, they can't see the prophecies. Like we're just reading about the RFID here. Revelations 13 and 16. If you don't know that that's talking about an actual device being implanted in your skin, and you call yourself an Israelite and a prophet of the Lord, you are a watchman, but you are blind. Okay? Blinded by the light. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. And what's the use of a dog? Okay, a dog, when you have a dog and somebody's coming to your crib or trying to break in your house, that dog is supposed to warn you. It's supposed to bark and warn you. So if you have a dumb dog that's not barking, what's the use of it? It's useless. It says they cannot bark. Right, like I just said, if you have a dog, what is the purpose of a dog? To warn you if the enemy's coming. A dog has specific senses for a reason. Yeah, I had a dog, and man, I wanted to get rid of that mug so bad, but my mom wanted to keep her ass. All right, why did I want to get rid of her? Because it was useless. Here it is, you jump in the back. Hey, my mother's house, I'm not living there. It's robbing. I feel like the dog showed the motherfuckers how to get in. A useless dog. So if you claim you're a prophet of the Lord in the faith, you can't, if you're not warning the people of Jacob's trouble coming, that's another thing IUIC did, is not warning Jacob. Jacob is Jacob's trouble. Okay? So it says, they are greedy. I know it's like it. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yea, there are greedy dogs which can never have enough. And how much is Nate worth? Over 100,000 K? 100K? It says, yea, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look their own way, every one for his gain from his quarter. That's right. They all, let's say they all, they all look their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. And you see that. And you've seen that with those unity camps. Even though they were amongst each other, oh yeah, we put our differences aside, we come together as one, they were all looking for their own gain. And Apostle wasn't sitting over, y'all gotta come up again under us. Who's the only one that says that? And I met them dudes in a club in Riverside before. And they were down there with the garments and the phylacteries. Oh man, and they said, oh, the GMS, they're not right because they're not under the order of General Yahawashi, which is bullshit. All right. Back to Ezekiel the 33rd chapter. It says, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. In Israel, you had trumpets for different occasions. You had trumpets for feast days. You had trumpets in case the enemies came, okay, knocking at your door. You had trumpets for the Sabbaths, okay, but this specific trumpet that we're blowing through the Spirit, all right, we're blowing the warning trumpet. Let me get that and I'm going to go back to this. It's Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. That's right. And that's the trumpet we're blowing. Showing our people their transgressions and their sins. That's the warning trumpet. Telling them the prophecies, telling them who they are. All right? You got to take the good with the bad. This is the gospel. And that is good news. You're getting your heritage back and all that. But now through the Spirit, we're giving you that warning trumpet. Why? Because, I'm going to say it like Trump said it, because you don't know how close we are. See, one day you're going to wake up, and these crazy men that got on these so-called dresses that you call them, all right, are going to do what? You're going to be like, yo, those crazy men were right. Those weird men were right. Why is there martial law in the city? Why is there terror attacks going on all over the U.S.? Why are the cities split up into 10 regions? Why is there troops on U.S. soil? Troops that are not even from the U.S. Why did my sea hip get cut off? Brief intermission, somebody call me. But you know, through the Spirit, why did this happen? Why did that happen? Okay? So it says, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood should be upon his own head. And that's what's happening. Okay, you got people that see us out here on the highways and byways, like me and the brothers in Claremont. People walking up and down the street just scoffing, laughing, mocking, scorning. Okay, but hey, through the Spirit, when the troops come, when famine comes, when pestilence comes, when disease comes, all right, when your kids get taken from you, when you get taken out of your houses, okay, and your goods with you, all right, then you're going to want to be like, oh, shoot, man, those guys, they were right. But then your blood's going to be upon your own head. See, all we're doing out here through the Spirit and power of Yahawashi is covering our own self. The Lord said, go out, tell my people their transgressions. He also said, go out and bid as many as you can to the marriage. Okay? So we're killing two birds. We're killing two birds with one stone. We're warning, okay? We're telling our people to get right before this second flood comes. And also, too, we're sealing the elect. It says, he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. And how you going to do that? You're going to come back to the Lord. All right? You're going to repent. You're going to take heed. You're going to do what the Lord asked you to do to basically seal your salvation. So Lord willing, the Lord can give you the tender mercies of David. Okay? So that's how you save your soul. Because there's no way that you could prepare for what's to come if you're not in the knowing of it. What's the hardest punch you can get hit with in a fight is the one that you don't see. That's usually where the knockouts come from. So you're going to have a lot of Israelites, a lot of people out here that this trumpet is being blown and they're not taking heed. They're still asleep. Well, guess what? While they're asleep, they're going to get knocked upside their head. It says, but if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and you got guys out here like that, they see all this stuff happening, but guess what's going on? They're putting it on the back burner. They continue to teach the message. Like you had the dudes, I forgot where they were at, but me and a brother, I did a video on them, and the dude was basically, you know, the t-shirt fringe dudes. They were basically out there on the highways. Whatever Jake would walk by, don't you know the word niggas in the Bible? what does that have to do with what's going on right now? That could ultimately come later on down the line. Why are you trying to teach Jake, first off back, that, a word that these niggas use daily, do you know it's in the Bible? That's why a lot of you dudes, man, y'all not fit to be out there teaching. Whoever you, I think there was Sakari too. Every person that walked by. Don't you know the word niggas in the Bible? You want to come see sister? Come here. That's not how you supposed to be teaching. You're supposed to be showing them, hey man, missiles are coming to this place. Martial law is coming to this place. Famine, death, destruction, pestilence, disease, war. Your kids are going to get killed. Your peoples are going to get killed if you don't get right with Yahawah while Yahawashi. Okay? That's what's going on. It says, oh, and that's the warning. If you're not warning our people about that, then guess what happens? Hey, well, it's going to read on and say it. But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away his iniquity. He is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. That's right. So there is a consequence for not being out here. There is a consequence for not warning Israel. And that goes for a lot of you keyboard warriors. All right? Here it is, man. You on a keyboard comment, you on a comment board. Just talking shit, man. Just talking junk. Oh, then you got the people that say, oh, well, those camps are wicked. Nigga, you had camps in the ancient world. During the time of Moses. During the time of Joshua, Caleb, King David. You had camps back then. Okay? We had the camp. What the hell are you talking about? Those camps are wicked. No, you're wicked. Any of you that are believing or that are basically joined hand in hand or in the same spirit of these people are talking about the camps are wicked, and you're wicked too. Because the Lord gave us strict requirements to be able to, Lord willing, work out our salvation with fear and trembling. And this is a strict requirement. Let me see if I can grab this one. It's always windy over here for some odd reason. I was just thinking about it. So like you work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You got Second Peter chapter 1 verse 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fail. So one of the ways of doing that is doing what the Lord commanded, which the Lord said, go ye out on the highways and byways and bid as many as you can to the marriage. He meant that. Okay? So that's the only way you could really warn Jake. Go ye out through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. Okay, Proverbs, the first chapter, says what it says. Chief places of concourse. Okay? So, Ezekiel 33 and 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman into the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. Which really, that's all it is. And how are we hearing the words out of the Lord's mouth? Through the book. Okay? So, it says, I'll read it again. O thou son of man, O thou, O son of man, I've set thee a watchman into the house of Israel. And you brothers out there, you're watchmen. And I'm not talking about the watchmen in Israel. I'm not talking about Wi-Fi. Okay, because those men, they're not watchmen. They play and they act a good part, but they're not really watchmen. They can call themselves the watchmen. They're not watchmen. I don't care how many people they got backing them up. Those dudes are not watchmen of the Lord. And as a matter of fact, man, a lot of them dudes wear them goddamn the Masonic garments. They got the apron, the goddamn Gmail sign. So it says, therefore, thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. That's right, and that's all this is us warning 2/3 of our people of their wicked ways. That's all this is, man. And if we don't do this, then guess what? The Lord will require it from our hands. If you see a nigga eating pork and he professes himself to be in the faith or not, hey, you're supposed to say, hey man, don't you know that that is a sin according to the Holy Bible? And if he hears, then hey, you have saved the soul. If he doesn't hear, guess what? That man is condemned. And he's going to die in his iniquity. It says, nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his ways, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. And that's all we doing out here. Okay, we're trying to wipe the blood off our hands. Okay, we're trying to be as clean as possible before Yahawashi returns. We're trying to be blameless when the Lord returns. Because he's coming as what? He's coming as a thief in the night. So we're out here trying to warn our people, not only, to save them, but we're trying to warn our people to have the blood wiped off our hands. Because like I said, through the Spirit, through the Spirit, Jacob's trouble is coming. Let me actually get it. And see, everything's all fun and games till it's not fun and games. Straight up. You Jakes, man, you people out here, y'all through. I see it every day. I just got out of work through the Spirit, and even the people at my job, they're through. No hope in the world. That's all they can see is the goddamn place they work at. That's all they can eat, sleep, and breathe. Is the place that they work at. Hey, through the Spirit, I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. Hey, us brothers, we see past America. We see past this place. Jake has the Stockholm Syndrome. That's all they can see. They don't believe that nothing is better than this. That's why Jake can't get this. Here it is, your pulpit pimp preacher can tell you about the kingdom of heaven, and now everybody's going, and you believe it, and that's what you want. But here we're telling you that your oppressor, okay, the one that oppressed you, put chains and shackles on your feet, whooped you, stomped your babies, fed your babies to alligators, did a whole bunch of atrocities, and you look at us and scoff and mock at us and want to fight us. Why don't you go fight Esau? Hey, why don't you go fight that nigga? It's just a curse anyway. Because we know you Jakes. You Jakes will hurt your own people. But that's why Jacob's trouble is coming to you. Hey, actually, let me get this. Because all you've done is slay the prophets. Time in and time out. And you will want to slay us, but the Lord's not going to allow it. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 1, verse 32. I sent unto you my servants, the prophets, and that's all we are. We're the real servants of the Lord. Okay? And you people don't know what us brothers go through in order to do what we have to do for Yahawashi Bahasham. I've been at work all day. I've been at work all day since I've been up since 4:30. I had to be to work at 7 just to be there for 9 hours. Okay? Hop right off of work to come and do the work of the Lord. We are the servants of Yahawashi Bahasham. We're the ones that want to serve the Lord. While everybody, they get off, they go relax. Doing the will of the Lord is on my mind. So it says, I sent unto you my servants the prophets, whom ye have taken and slain, and torn their bodies in pieces, whose blood I will require of your hands, saith Yahawah. And that's what's going to happen. That's why the Lord is bringing about Jacob's trouble for you bone-headed, hard-headed Israelites. This Jeremiah 30:7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And like we keep bringing out, all right, the time of Jacob's trouble is going to be death, pestilence, famine, disease. You Jakes that didn't want to listen, the Lord is calling, and you Jakes don't want to listen. You want to laugh, you want to mock scorn, you want to honk at you, talk shit, going out driving their cars. But the Lord got something for you. Okay? That's why King David said this. And see, Jacob's trouble is real. This is Psalm 17, chapter 17, verse 13. Arise, O Yahawah, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Because the Lord's going to use this devil as his whipping stick to you Jakes, to you rebellious Jakes. So King David said, because hey, back in the ancient world, we knew who the wicked was. It's just that, what does it say? Even Satan is transformed into an angel of light. It's just on this side, when we lost our heritage and stuff like that, you Jakes got beat into thinking that this devil can do no wrong. And when you work with a devil, he's just a devil, man. Like I work with this dude, he's fairly new. And through the spirit, hey, nobody, I got a lot of Issachar at the job, at the plant. And none of these Issacharites like his ass. None of them. Why? Because that spirit in the world right now is that this wicked man is being revealed. Okay? For the Lord shall reveal with the spirit of his mouth and the brightness of his coming. Okay? And who's the spirit of the Lord's mouth? The prophets. So you Jakes that aren't taking heed, hey, that sword, hey, the Lord's going to let this sword come down upon you. And we're going to laugh it up. Us brothers in the faith, we're going to laugh it. We're going to laugh, man. We're going to laugh at all you Jakes that talk stuff. We're going to laugh at you, man. Go to this. Because y'all think that Jacob's trouble isn't coming. Well, guess what? It is. Actually, let me get 2 Ezra 16. This 2 Ezra 16 and 15. The fire is kindled, it shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. and those missiles are gonna hit this place. Okay, hey, we always talk about it. It was ICBMs. Okay, they're nuclear, and they got simulations to show what can happen if a specific nukes hit a state, or a specific country. Hey, enough of them will obliterate and level a whole goddamn country. And those things are that's coming out of the armory of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay, those are the weapons of the Lord. The Lord put the spirit on those specific scientists to create a missile. Okay, to create a missile to basically destroy America and the wicked of our people and the wicked period. Okay? So it says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that should be sent upon earth should not return again. And once these things start heating up, once that say, hey, now we're cooking with grease, kids. Once these things start heating up on a high scale, they're not going to stop. See, what we've been having is wars, rumors of wars. You had people scared when they thought that we were going to World War III, which, hey, man, through the spirit, me and a brother was talking, we was like, man, we pray, Yahawah Shai, that these things basically happen. We pray that they don't stop. Now, did they stop? Yeah, it was a brief intermission. But the next time around when it happens, this is not going to be a test. Right? This is going to be the real national emergency. You're going to hear that shit on your phone. Worldwide emergency, and it's going to be like, it's going to say this is not a test. Oh, not to mention a big earthquake coming. We had an earthquake out here, I think like 3-4 weeks ago. It shook the whole shit. We've been telling people that a earthquake is bound to happen. Okay, a big one is bound to happen. If you people think that we're playing, they ain't playing. What the Lord ain't playing. Okay, it can happen any day, any second. Hey, the San Andreas fault line. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days. And that's the thing. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, hey, we know that Yahawah Shai will deliver us in these days to come. But Ezra's asking, like, yo, woe is me, who shall deliver me from these specific days that are coming? Because you're looking at it and you're seeing, think about it, he's seeing these things happen. Just like certain brothers and had specific visions of the prophecies coming to pass as far as this place being destroyed by missiles, FEMA camps, FEMA troops. And he said, hey, brother said, man, that shit is devastating. I've had a couple. Man, let me tell you, man, the Heavenly Father is real. If you didn't believe, because when these times hit, and it's right in your face, see, everything's cool. All right, till these things come knocking at your door. Then it's, oh shoot. Then you're scared. So Jake talk a whole bunch of junk. But hey, watch when these things come knocking at your door. Then Jake gonna want to get right. Oh, well, hey man, what's going on? That's why the Lord said, in the days of calamity, in the days of trouble, they should try to seek Him early. You're supposed to be trying to turn to the face of the Lord now, not when time. That's what Christians do. They go throughout their whole life doing nothing but wickedness. Then they get to a specific age, and all of a sudden they want to find the Lord. All of a sudden they holier than now, especially a Christian woman. I'm saved now. I'm saved. It says, the beginning of sorrows in great mournings, the beginning of famine in great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. You heard that? The beginning of sorrows in great mournings. Why? Because these times These times are going to give you something not to live for. I see it, Jake go on cruises. Jake is traveling. I'm going to Australia. I'm going to here. I'm going on a 7-day cruise. I'm going to Mexico for 7 days. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But these times that are coming, all right, are going to be full of sorrows and mournings. Meaning they're not going to be delightful days. Let me actually get that. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Yeah, don't try to remember the Heavenly Father when it's too late. You already got the one. Everybody know, hey, the truth is global right now. It's worldwide. So you got people that, I'm going to put that on, like you had this bozo, this dumbass clown a while back talking about something. Oh yeah, I was into a Hebrew Israelite, being a Hebrew Israelite, but I got out of it. And he got his ass sharply cut and rebuked. This is your nationality. There's nothing that you can get out of. Okay? He got his ass sharply rebuked and cut up. It says, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So, through the Spirit, don't try to remember Yahawashi before the evil day. While the evil days come not. You're supposed to remember them before that. Because these days that are coming, they're full of, what it say, beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. That sounds like nothing that's pleasurable. Okay? And it said these are just the beginnings of it. So imagine when it's in its full stead or in its full throttle. It says, the beginning of wars. Like I was just talking about the beginning of wars, man. Okay? Through the Spirit and power of Yahawashi, the beginning of wars are what? Iran, okay, Ukraine, Russia, all right? The things that we've been talking about and saying through the Spirit and power of Yahawashi, hey, you've been seeing it. It says, we'll close up in a minute. This fucking dark is getting, this goddamn place is getting hooded up. But it says, the beginning of wars and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for men. And the scourges are for who? They're for Jake. Okay? So these are sent as scourges for amendment, meaning correction. And that's all it is. See, you Jakes don't want to listen, so Yahawashi is gonna put that belt, put belt to ass. And that's what we're telling you, Jakes, man. Yeah, you better get right, because when the Lord do it, hey, what son does he not chasten it? Doesn't he chasten it whom he loves? So if you Jakes, through the Spirit, you're called by the name of the Lord if you don't get right. Well, what does a father do to his son? Like I just said, he puts belt to ass, man. It says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Right? Because even though these things are happening, you think Jake is going to turn to Yahawashi Shai? You still going to have the pride. Jake's going to die in pride. You Israelites, man, all y'all going to die in pride, man. Simple as that. Y'all going to die in your iniquity, and you're going to die in pride. Here it is, you're going to have missiles hitting this place. You're going to have a famine. Okay, you're going to have troops coming through your city. Okay? But then even for all that, you still not going to turn. You're still not going to acknowledge your sins. That's why the Lord just going to do away with you, man. Let's see. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in the land, saith Yahawah, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And that third is talking about the elect of the nation, the elect of the house of the nation of Israel. All right, so 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off and die, but the remnant is going to be left therein. And the Lord does have a chosen. See, all you people, this ain't all dogs go to heaven. That's what's in the mind state of Jacob. All humans, all this, all that go to heaven. No, there's a remnant. The Lord's going to cut off 2/3, okay, which is 66.6% of our people. Then he's going to leave the remnant, which more willing is us. It talks about the 144,000, okay, in the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter and the 7th chapter. It talks about the servants of the Lord being sealed. So through the Spirit, let me see. Who you think the Lord came for? According to St. John, the 17th chapter. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for those who the Father has given me. For what do you say? Thine or they, and thine or mine. So the Lord just has a remnant, an elect, according to grace. And that's what we're hoping to get. And that's why we out here through the Spirit, to get that mercy, to try to do what's right by Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. And that trial period is coming. I'm going to get that too in 2 Ezra 16th chapter. Okay? That trial period is coming. What's going to happen, man? You jakes, you're going to get tried. All right? Hey, whether your foundation is made of wood, hay, or stubble, or gold, okay? Precious stones, silver, things that get more purified in fire. Yeah, I'm going to close up after this. So the Lord's going to bring the third part out of the fire, man. This 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 69, or verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear Yahawah. And that's talking about those troops. Those troops, the enemy is going to come in like a flood. And they're going to cast you jakes out of your houses. Okay? They're going to cast you jakes out of your houses. They're going to take away your goods. And they're going to throw you into concentration camps. That's what's coming. It says, and they're only coming for you jakes. That's what agenda, does it say depopulate 2020 something? That agenda plan, which is the agenda plan of the elites, okay, that's for you goddamn jakes. Them elites are going to be in them bunkers. All this chaos, hey, that shit is going to be aimed toward y'all. They have what is it, Project Megiddo? They have a project called Project Megiddo. It enlists you, you Israelites. If you call yourself an Israelite, it lists you as a so-called terrorist. And we've had through the Spirit, okay, we've had specific instances to where these devils have try to set up specific people and call it anti-Semitism, to where they destroyed a so-called small hats business and killed them. Or you had this one a girl. It's really it's just a frame. You know, they just be trying to frame brothers to make us look evil in a certain light. But that's gonna happen. That's called persecution. It's gonna happen. I mean, people already call us weird. People already, through the Spirit, say specific things about us. Okay? But through the Spirit, they're gonna try to put us in a specific type of light. Like, let me give you an example. Which that nigga's a nigga, man. Polite. He tried to throw that grape doctrine on us, talking about brothers sleep with little kids, which was false. And he put that hex on us, but guess what this nigga did? Okay? With his own mouth, he condemned himself. Now where is he at? Okay? So we're gonna get persecuted. They're gonna try to put us in a specific type of light. We're already, like I said, deemed as terrorists. Why? Because we're going after these strongholds. We're breaking down the strongholds. We're going after these devils. We're showing them their transgressions. Okay? So when these troops come in and the enemy comes in like a flood, these FEMA troops, they're not going to spare because it's all a part of the depopulation agenda that the wicked high elite have. That's why things are moving fast. Hey, Trump is hip to this, basically what's going on out here. Why? Because he's in the known on the left-hand side to the elites. He's a puppet. They push his buttons and they put the battery in his back. You would think as a president with all this shit going on, the nigga would be stressed out. He's not stressed out because it's all according to plan. It says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. And I think me and a brother went through the red list, blue list, and the yellow list. The blue list is basically people that are not hip to the NWO. They don't know shit that's going on, and they're going to be easily they're basically going to be easily controlled. They basically just going to go with the flow of the NWO. The yellow lists are your the ones that claim they're in the know. You're a conspiracy theorist. The ones that aren't in the truth, okay, of course. But those are the ones that that they're gonna round up for. No, not a 4. Are those the 4 o'clockers? No, yeah, those. I think those are the 4 o'clockers, the yellow list. The ones that are gonna be rounded up 4 o'clock in the morning, tossed in the back of a FEMA train, FEMA car, and hauled off to a concentration camp. And what they call it is re-education. So they're going to be so-called re-educated, but they said most likely, I forgot in the article, but we read it, we did videos on it. But in the article, it basically said, which most likely there's not gonna be a room. It says some crazy that they're gonna be starved in the concentration camps and die. But brothers like ourselves, we on that red list, which the red list is TOS, terminate on sight. So you have the blue list, which would be people that are already in society that are dumb as hell. When the RFID hip comes, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna go with the flow. Okay, they're going to take it. Hey, you could honestly put a lot of those blue list people in the category of those that took that juice, that took that snake venom. So it says, verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. And you know Jake likes to hoard anyway. Black Friday coming up, Jake got the same goddamn TV, just a different bit frame or whatever from last year, and a dumbed down price in that house. They got a nice car, they got this and that. Oh, hey, another part of Jake's goods that they're gonna cast and take away from them is food. You're gonna have specific houses that are gonna be basically stations that FEMA troops are going to basically house in. So they take your ass out of your crib, because you gotta remember, food is gonna be scarce in these times of trouble. So if you got a lot of food, if you got delicate foods, they take you out your crib and occupy that house and feast on things that you're supposed to feast on. How about that? It says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. And through the Spirit, that's the time that we're coming into. Those that are going to be tried like the gold in the fire. Okay? You brothers out there, hey, the Lord's going to see what you made out of it. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Which really all it's going to really boil down to is your faith. And if you are of the elect. This is because Yahawashi talked about your foundation. You build it upon sand. If it's built upon sand, what's going to happen? All right, when this storm comes, it's going to get beat upon and it's going to fall. But if you build your foundation upon the rock, which that rock is Yahawashi, okay, which Yahawashi is working through the apostles of the great millstone, okay, then when that storm comes and things of that nature, you'll be able to stand your ground. This 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse I'm gonna start at verse 9. For we are laborers together with Yahawah. Ye are Yahawah's husbandry. Ye are Yahawah's building. And we always talk about that brothers are likened. I think it's in the book of Peter's, likened unto brothers are likened unto stones, lively stones. Okay, and Yahawashi, which a stone is something that you make a building a part of, a strong building. You could build a strong building out of a material called stone. If you build a building, like, it's not like these houses nowadays where they're built out of, I don't even know what the hell that shit is, man. But I know it's not strong. But if you build a house out of pure stone, oh, just like that that nursery rhyme with the 3 little pigs, which I'm sure is deeper than that. I'm just using it as an example. But remember the pigs built, the first house was wood, hay, and the second house was wood, right? And when the wolf came along and he blew on it, then those houses crumbled. But the third house was made of brick, and when he tried to blow on it, he couldn't blow it down. So through the Spirit, being lively stones, all right, and the house of the Lord is strong through Yahawah, why Yahawashi? Because Yahawashi is that chief cornerstone, and that's our foundation. That's who it starts with. That's the most important part of that building. So if you have Yahawashi as your foundation, then hey, I mean, there you go. I mean, what more can you say? But like I said, it's a faith thing. It says, according to the verse 10, according to the grace of Yahawah, which is given unto me as a wise master builder. And like I keep saying, this is our grace period. It says, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahawashi. Yeah, that's right. So, hey, one band, one sound. Okay, just like the faith. Okay, there's only one faith. It says, if you're speaking other things, then hey, that's not the foundation of the Lord. If you're built upon another foundation, okay, Christianity, being a Muslim, you say you're a Hebrew Israelite, but you're not coping with the prophecies, then you're built upon another foundation. It says now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, which are things that get more purified in fire. Okay, it says wood, hay, stubble, which are things that are easily burnt. Every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day declared. And what's that day? The day that's going to declare it is Jacob's trouble. The time of great war, pestilence, all that. So that's the day that's going to declare it. When we're faced with guillotines, when we're faced with concentration camps, okay, when we're faced with starvation. Hey, brothers, we don't know how we're going to eat in that day. We just know that the Lord said that he was going to feed us. That's it. But we honestly don't know how we're going to eat in that day, but we know we're going to get fed. We're going to be faced with persecution. We're going to be faced with the sea hip. It says, because it shall be revealed by fire. So the Lord's going to test your foundation. He's going to see what you're made out of, or what he's been making you. You got to think about it, man. The Lord is building brothers up in a specific way. It says, every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. That's right. So you got dudes out there, man, if you're faking the front, you just out here because it's a fad. You know, you're out here because, I seen him doing it. Now I want to be out here. Guess what? Hey, when that time of Jacob's trouble comes and that fire comes, hey, the Lord's going to reveal if you're made out of hay, wood, or stubble. And guess what? That day that's going to reveal that day of fire, or that fire that's going to reveal that, guess what? You're going to fall in that day. Why? Because you want of Yahawashi, you want in this faith for truth and sincerity. Okay? But if you're made of precious stones, silver, what is it? Gold, silver, and precious stones, then hey, you're gonna be alright. It says, if any man's work abide, which he that hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward, and that reward is going to be the kingdom. That reward is going to be salvation. That reward is going to be getting up out of here. That reward is going to be getting a defense when the time of Jacob's trouble comes. Thou worm Jacob, I will help thee. It's going to be that's going to be you being able to get that help that you want in that time of trouble. That's why we do the work. That's why we come out on the highways and byways to get our spiritual money up, so that way in a day of trouble, in a day of calamity, we're able to withdraw from the Lord to, Lord willing, be able to be saved. So stack your chips up, brothers. Do the work. Now the scriptures also talk about how charity covereth the multitude of sins. If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. That's right, man. So I pretty much think that concludes this week's camp. You know, Lord willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Harakadash, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi. Double honors to our apostles at Great Millstone, who will wear the titles of truth. Peace and love and blessed salutations to your Hakim, that's part of the Bahasham, the house of David. Shabbat Shalom also to you few brothers out there, you few sisters out there. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, death to America. And until next week, Shalom.